What's your greatest fear? The thing that keeps you up at night? The nightmare you wake from in a cold sweat? Would you tell me your fear? Or would you rather confide in a large wooden dummy named Morty? If you chose the latter, then welcome to the fear. A group of college kids led by psych major Richard take to a cabin in the woods for a field study in their deepest fears. Enter Morty, an adult-sized wooden mannequin that played a large and traumatizing part in Richard's youth. Because who didn't play with a large wooden dummy as a kid? Anyway, if you guess that Morty will eventually come to life and turn everyone's greatest fears against them, congratulations, Captain Obvious. But let me tell you something that's not so obvious about this movie. An angle that is so out of left field, completely unnecessary, and just plain odd. You know what? I'm going to make you wait for it. But consider this a spoiler warning. Now, I'd seen The Fear many, many years ago, but I didn't remember anything about the movie aside from Morty. Like, for instance, despite this film looking and sounding like a slasher movie, it's not really a slasher movie, but kinda. The Fear is very 90s, that period after the 80s slasher boom, but just prior to the 90s slasher boom. It wasn't a particularly fruitful time for the genre or for fans of the genre. And genre filmmakers seemed kinda lost. Slashers were no longer profitable, but killer doll movies were, at least on home video. The makers of The Fear seem to have wanted to make a blend of both with a dash of Sigmund Freud thrown in for good measure. The Fear begins with Richard telling his psych professor about his little project. Richard's psych professor is actually played here by the late Wes Craven. What's Wes Craven doing in this, you may be wondering? Easy money. It turns out that the cabin is Richard's childhood home, and Morty has been waiting for him there. The group use Morty as the conduit for exercising their deepest-seated fears, although they're not really that deep. Mostly the fear of growing old, of being poor, stuff like that. We're treated to a lot of the group arguing, hooking up, or trying to hook up, exchanging deep conversations about grief and lost love, while undergoing therapy that I'm pretty sure would not be APA approved. There's a subplot involving a serial rapist on the college campus, and if you guess that one of the members of this study will turn out to be that rapist, you're batting 1,000 now, Captain Obvious. Richard's uncle shows up at one point with his girlfriend, who appears to be about 30 years his senior. Also, the guy wears a Santa suit for most of the movie. He owns a theme park. I think it's a Christmas-themed theme park, but if you worked at McDonald's, would you just wear your McDonald's uniform all the time, even when you're not working? As for Morty, Morty looks like a guy in a rubber suit that's been molded to look like wood, because it is a guy in a rubber suit that's been molded to look like wood. The guy in the suit sells it as best he can and even moves like he's doing a very uncoordinated rendition of the robot. The Fear tries really hard not to be a slasher movie, but something more weighty and psychological. It's definitely a movie with mommy issues. At the center of Richard's issues, we discover, is his mother, and we get an angle involving a stepbrother and a stepsister who have been very close in the past. Put it that way. However, it's then revealed that the stepsister is actually the stepbrother's mother. The guy had already been sleeping with his stepsister, which, and this is a no judgment zone, but I wouldn't go there. But it was really his own mother all along. Why? The movie actually kind of hints at this twist early on, but I just shrugged it off. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what the filmmakers were thinking here, quite frankly. For being so talky, most of the characters in The Fear are underdeveloped. Some characters disappear and then later reappear, or don't. One character is knocked out cold in the woods and is never spoken of again. Others were left to surmise were killed off screen, I guess. The most memorable character in the film is Troy, and he's only memorable because of how annoying he is. Troy is a white guy who's trying to be urban. He has dreads, says yo a lot, and whenever he's on screen, he's accompanied by a reggae rap fusion kind of music. And unfortunately, Homeboy survives through most of the movie. The Fear isn't a bad movie necessarily. It's just strange enough to keep you invested and silly enough to keep you entertained. If you're looking for a slasher movie, then look elsewhere. But But if you're in the mood for a guy in a rubber suit doing the robot badly and incest, then The Fear is the movie for you. You degenerate. As for this Blu-ray release from Vinegar Syndrome, this release is newly scanned and restored in 4K from its 35mm original camera negative. I thought the picture quality and the sound quality on this release were both absolutely fantastic. I'd give the picture quality and the sound quality both a solid 4.5 out of 5. The Fear looked and sounded fantastic on this release from Vinegar Syndrome. As far as extras are concerned, first up we have Face to Face with Fear, the making of a cult classic. It's 50 minutes and 9 seconds in length. It includes interviews with executive producer Greg Sims, director Vincent Robert, writer Ron Ford, actors Darren Heems, Eric Wise, Heather Medway, Eddie Bowes, and Turkle, special makeup effects artist Tom Irvin, special effects technician Jason Hamer, and more. Basically anything and everything that you could possibly want to know about the making of The Fear, from the genesis of the idea, through writing the screenplay, through production, post-production, the film's release, its cult status, and more, is right here on this making of documentary. We also get a commentary with director Vincent Robert and a commentary with executive producer Greg Sims. This is a solid Blu-ray release for The Fear from the fine folks over at Vinegar Syndrome. Both the picture quality and the sound quality are fantastic. We get a really nice, informative making of documentary and 2 audio commentaries. If you are a fan of The Fear, then this Blu-ray release from Vinegar Syndrome is an absolute must. I'll post a link to Vinegar Syndrome's website down in the description. Go over and check them out. If you've seen The Fear, please let me know your thoughts on the film down in the comments section below. If you've already picked up this Blu-ray release from Vinegar Syndrome, please let me know your thoughts on it down in the comments section below also. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up and share it on social media. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. A huge shout out to all my patrons and channel members. I appreciate your generosity and support of my channel. Become a patron today and join me for exclusive live streams, get early access to videos, and have a say in what movies I review on my channel. Become a channel member and get access to exclusive badges and emotes to use when I stream. Links are in the description. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.